Hello and welcome back to another wonderful week of Sagittarius. As we enter in the second week of this month, we're also getting the help and the assistance of one of the combination of 72 names, which is ד.נ.י, known to be enough is never enough. I started speaking about it a little bit in our last session, but I want to elaborate a little bit more about this because this is really about this week. When we hear enough is never enough, I think most of the time what we hear is about our desires. When we understand Kabbalistically that this week, when we refer to ד.נ.י, is the understanding that, and basically this is the Kabbalistic secret, that desire is the secret of life. The greater our desire, is the more we will manifest. This is what we've learned. And in this week, we have a priceless gift that we receive to transcend a smaller desire in life and really to awaken within us, like even we have the capability to desire even more than the material pleasures and our own immediate whims. We have the opportunity this week to reveal our true potential, which is far beyond the desire of our personality. We are able to awaken the greatest desire of all, the desire to transform ourselves completely and reach our truest potential of existence. It's a very powerful week. In this month of Sagittarius, this month we're known to be the miraculous month, right? And this is a miracle of life, an opportunity that is awaiting for us, for each one of us in this month of light. Do we really want, or do we really wish to settle for so little in this world? Our vacations, fortune, and physical pleasures, it's only something that we want to dream of. Do we not desire more than that? If joy, happiness, peace, freedom, true love, and a connection to the Creator is not something like it's something that we all wish for ourselves, right? So in this week, we are able to awaken the desire and far more than what we think we want. Enough is never enough, as it's mentioned, ד.נ.י, is now we settle for nothing less than total fulfillment, total freedom, and total unity with the Creator. So when we approach in this week, or the way we would like to approach this week, is to also ask questions, not just what is my desire in the 1%. It's like when we say enough is never enough, is to awaken the desire to connect more with the light of the Creator, to awaken more the relationship that we have with the light within, with the Creator, in a sense of like, what's next? What else? What are the steps that I'm willing to take or I'm committed to take this week to give a little bit of a boost into my understanding of what is my relationship with the Creator? We always say that, like, you know, when things are going our way, when we're happy, when things are beautifully coincide with my desires in life, we are happy, we are fulfilled. The moment we have a challenge, lack of alignment with us, with other people, therefore with the creation, we feel obviously that lack is challenging the way I view my reality. The moment a challenge occurs, when we use the ד.נ.י and the perspective that we said and we mentioned last week of like not seeing the whole picture, is understanding that everything that's happening is from the Creator. The good and the bad, it's all coming from the Creator, and it's all here to awaken us for asking these questions of like, what is my relationship with the Creator? How can I make it bigger? How can I strengthen it even more? Strengthening, in other words, the level of certainty with the creation. And we must embolden, it says, our desire even beyond of what we think we want. We must be open not to only desire the small things in the world, but also desire the larger, loftier spiritual states. We learn to desire the light of the Creator to the point that we are willing to put our full energy force behind the loving and caring for others. And it is in this way we can receive everything that the Creator intended for us. The more we can place our energy into a cause beyond and above ourselves, the more energy we ourselves actually receive. So let's talk a little bit about this even more with the support that we have actually from this week, a corresponded portion, which is Vayetze. It's a beautiful story that, and beyond that, like there are beautiful messages that we receive from this week portion that I found that it can help us practically to understand more of the concept of ד.נ.י. You know, a lot of us think that once we get to that place where we are spiritual, that we have made it. Okay, we have got it, we have made it. You know, nothing goes wrong. Nobody we love gets sick, God forbid, and nothing bad happened to us, and we get enough money to live on. In short, we get to enjoy life. But from a spiritual point of view, we learn that if we are skating along without a stumble, we should stop to take also a good look, and because somewhere along the line we are not growing. The Zohar says that, and I'm quoting, "For I will refine you as gold is refined," meaning that in this life we are constantly being refined towards reaching our potential. Jacob the patriarch, which is the story of this week, Jacob the patriarch was considered to be a tzaddik. Tzaddik is a righteous soul. Went through so much pain in his life. Even when he was an old man even, life still threw him curveballs, as we know. He lost 2 wives, then went through a separation from his beloved son Joseph, which we know later on in the portions. And he suffered all of the sadness that went along with that. The issues, the anguish, the hardship just kept on piling up in his life. And the Zohar tells us that for the righteous person, there is never such a thing enough already. For whatever reason, such people live a life that is not tranquil. It's not easy, it's not peace. And what does it mean for us? Does it mean that every day we should take a hammer and hit ourselves on our head with it? Of course not. The world does it for us, and we all know it. The world, the universe created for us. We don't need to do it for ourselves. What it does mean, though, is that we need to be constantly aware that there's a bigger reason. There's a much bigger reason for our existence on this earth, beyond just waking up or going to work, eating and sleeping. When life throws us a curveball or a challenge, it is an opportunity and a gift from the Creator to help us grow. So what happened with Jacob in this week of Vayetze, and he went out. And I'll just share a little bit of the story. And you know what? I want to read a section from the Zohar just to connect to this energy and draw the energy of the Zohar to us. And it says like this. I'm going to read from the beginning, from verse 1, just from even verse 1, just to connect. ויצא יעקב מבאר שבע וילך חרנה, רבי חייא פתח ואמר, וזרח השמש, ובא השמש, ואל מקומו שואף זורח הוא שם, ההיא קרא וכמהו, אבל וזרח השמש, די יעקב, כד הווה בבאר שבע, ובא השמש כד עזה לחרן, דכתיב וילן שם כי בא השמש, ואל מקומו שואף זורח, דכתיב וישכב ביום ההוא. Basically, it's just the beginning, the first verse of this portion. And vayetze in Hebrew means and he went out, and he got out. Okay, and the story is really about Jacob initiating as a central column, initiating his exiting or going out from the physical space where he lived in Beersheba, which known to be Beersheba. Yeah, it's a city in Israel, but it's also a code name that represent harmony, represent balance, representing the time that it was good for Jacob. And he vayetze mi Beersheba vayelech Harana, and he left Beersheba, the harmony place, and he went to a place called Harana, which this is the place that where Charon, it's like come from the word Charon or Charon Afi in Hebrew, which is kaas, which is anger, going out from a place of harmony to a place that is maybe negative, awakening more anger and darkness. But it's mentioned that Jacob initiating this going out, this living a space of comfortability and going towards time in his life, period of time that lasts 22 years minimum, and then there are more, but within this 22 years, like really going through a lot of hardship. And why is that? What is that question? Jacob wasn't settling for only the space and the place where he felt comfortable of being a scholar or a student of and being this amazing good person that live in a very harmonious space. He knew that for his potential, there is a reason why he was the son of Isaac and why he is the grandson of Abraham. But in the internal seeking of like, what else can I be or do in this world? What type of more of a potential? I don't know what's my potential, but I want to seek for it. But I know and I'm aware that being in this space where I'm at, I will not find this right now. And I want to get out from that space. So he initiate going out from a place of harmony to face all the challenges of the most that he can face, and to break his fears, overcome any guilt or any shame over any fears or any challenges will come across him, because he understood that it's really removing those klipot, removing those shells that will bring him much closer to his potential and much closer to the light of the Creator. And just by this, we really understanding the meaning of ד.נ.י for ourselves this week. In a sense, it's like the miraculous month, right? It's a beautiful month of like light and excitement leading us to the holiday of light. And it should be easier than the last month of Scorpio that was maybe challenging emotionally. But here, it's required from each one of us to look inside our inner world and our space and ourself, and to say, okay, we mentioned that this year is like getting it all. But we also mentioned that what does it mean having it all? What is required from me? What is my commitment to me, of me receiving all from the Creator? It requires that our vessel will be the one that will match it all. And it's required from us to look into our desires. If we're already speaking on desires, where's my desire for the self alone, and where's for my desire to share? To identify those agendas or inner desires. What am I coming from? Where I'm coming from? What is my intention? And within all of that is to ask ourselves this week especially, is what is the level of connection that I have with the Creator? And I wanted more. And I want more. how can I achieve more? It's like looking into your wheel of life, areas where you feel that you have some comfort in those areas, and it says, okay, what type of actions I'm willing to take in this area of my life to inject more energy of mercy, to inject more energy of kindness, to act like the Creator in those areas in my life. For example, the area of relationship with my family, for example, or friends. What are the initiative? What are the commitment? What are the actions that I'm willing to take in order to strengthen that relationship? Because if I'm strengthening the relationship with my surrounding, is I'm strengthening the relationship with myself, therefore I'm strengthening the relationship with the Creator, and vice versa. When I'm connecting really with the Creator in a level that is strong enough, and again, each one definition what is strong, you'll see the relationship that we have with the Creator is like is the level of how my reality is being presented to me. So if I have any blockages in certain areas, or things are not going my way, or I'm not pleased with the way the reality is being presented to me, it's always going back and asking myself, okay, where in my relationship with the Creator I'm not complete? Where's this lack of certainty, or the certainty is not, it's not really certainty, but it's like yes and no. Like, what is my belief system about certain area? If I have abundance issues, what is, like, I'm going back and asking myself, what is my conversation with, if we're talking about money, what is my conversation with money? Am I trusting, and I have a certainty that all come from the Creator? And what is my lesson here? What type of work I need to create when I'm using ד.נ.י, when it says enough is never enough? As enough is never enough is like, yeah, I'm desiring more, as I mentioned desire, but I'm also desiring the connection with the Creator, because I understand that this will bring the reality to be as complete as it should be at this point in my life. So Jacob left the space that he lived in, and of course there are a lot of translation and ideas related to it. But there's a beautiful verse, and it's verse 15 that I want to read for you guys, and that we're getting a promise from the Creator. And it says like this: ושירותה דיהו אמר, רזה דשמשה, יהיו הבל דקיים עלמא. I'm reading the Aramaic section, verse 15 in the portion of ויצא. ויהיו רזה להעלאה ברנש לגור מהימנותה העלאה, הילאה דקודשה בריחו. ובגין כך, כל מה דתחות ההיא דרגה, לאו יהיו רזה דמהימנותה, ועל דקתי ואין יתרון תחת השמש, בכל אשר נעשה תחת השמש, דהת אחות ההיא לה יצטרך להידבקה. And what we have read here in this verse, it's, and I'm sorry, I read the verse in the Zohar 15, but I've meant the verse in the Torah, in the script, verse 15, because what it's mentioned there, and there is no coincidence of what I've read, it's interesting, but what it's mentioned in verse 15 in the script, in the Torah, in the portion, it says that Jacob is dreaming a dream, and it says, והנה אנוכי עמך, which means the Creator is delivering a message to Jacob while he was dreaming, that he says, here, I am here with you. I'm here with you, ואני שמרתיך, which means, and I'm here protecting you, and I shall be with you in every step of the way, every step that you will do, and והשיבותיך אל האדמה הזאת, and I'll make sure that you will return safe to this land. It's not just I'm only going to make sure that you're going to come back to the land of Israel, which is you reach your potential, you reach the destination, כי לא אעזבך, because I'm not going to leave you. I'm not going to abandon you. I'm not going to leave you alone. And I'm going to bring you to the point, and I'll guide you, and I'll escort you, and I'll bring you to the point that you will receive the full abundance and strength and power from the land. And why am I referring to this verse in our study today? Because it's, first of all, it's a beautiful verse that it's mentioned in this portion. Because Jacob is receiving here a promise and a guarantee from the Creator that the Creator is with him in every step of the way, everywhere he will go. And the beautiful thing is that every challenge and every situation that Jacob will face now on, like as I've mentioned earlier, he will be cheated, and there will be one chaos after another, and his beloved wife will not be able to get pregnant till later on, and then maybe his father-in-law will desire to kill him. So many difficult situations, and we want to think about what Jacob thought on in those moments. Was he thinking, oh, one second, the Creator really promised me that He will protect me, but with all the chaos I'm going through right now, I don't feel like protected. But it doesn't seem that, and it doesn't seem that really the Creator is with me, right? We have personally our thoughts when things are going sour in our life. But imagine the route that he took, the pathway that Jacob took. He left Israel. He's running from his brother that wants to kill him. He's running from a situation, and the Creator is telling him, don't worry, you'll be back here. Eventually, you'll be back here. But he's coming back to the land of Israel many years later. And the thing is like really a message for all of us, of course. Like, how do I know that I am protected in every process we're going through? It's like each one of us needs to accept on himself this understanding and understand and feel what the Creator is telling us every day. Because even if it's mentioned that the Creator mentioned that to Jacob and gave that message to Jacob, is actually give this message to each one of us. That the Creator is telling each one of us, I'm there for you. I'm guiding you. I will lead you where you need to be led to really get to. And I will never leave you. I will never leave you alone. I will not abandon you until you get to the place where you need to reach. And this is what the Creator is telling each one of us every day. Every day. You think it was for Jacob? No, it was for us. And we may look at one another and we say, I don't think so. My life doesn't show it like this way. Because each one of us that listen maybe to this class is like sitting and thinking about at least one area in your life that you don't feel guided by the Creator or protected by the Creator, right? And that one area at least in our life that we don't know what to do, or at least we don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. But this is what we're connecting to this week with ד.נ.י, is when the Creator is telling Jacob, is regardless of what you see. It's regardless of what the situation that's taking place around you. You can tell yourself, it's not going to happen, but I'm telling you, I'm guiding you, I'm protecting you, and I will never leave you alone till you reach your full potential. And it's the reason that Jacob was able to receive this message and to receive this protection was with the condition, only one condition. And the condition is the name of the portion and what I've read in the first verse in the Zohar, Vayetze. And Jacob left or went out. He did Vayetze. And this is how the portions start. And Yetze, Yud Tzadik Aleph in Hebrew, Yetze is numerical value 101, which we know 101 is also the numerical value of the angel Michael. It's like when you do a Vayetze, when you going out from the comfort, or when you initiating a change, you are drawing to yourself the energy of Angel Michael. So what Jacob did with his exiting, with this action, he in fact created this base of understanding, this possibility of being protected, is to be guided and directed with the promise that the Creator gave him, that he will exactly will reach the place where he needs to be reached with Vayetze. Because sometimes our body doesn't really want to be connected to the actions of our mind, right? Our body doesn't want to participate in those actions. It's kind of like rejecting or doesn't want to be or do. But Jacob is literally understand that he must get out, like take his legs and walk. There was a need of control over his body, over his desire. So he had to leave the place where he's at in order to become, later on we learn, Jacob became Israel, or the central column channel. He never ran away, but he actively took action. So in fact, one of the things that we are learning here is an action that we are taking. If it's easier for us, most of the time it's not an action that will lead us or take us to where we need to be in life, because it's comfortable or it's easy for us to make it. But it's also a good sign to show that this is not the right thing maybe to do in life. It's not really that every change that we need to do, like one of the things that we need to identify is if it's difficult is the right thing, if it's easy. I'm not saying that. Maybe this is for another conversation. But we need to understand that in this week, part of all the questions that I've raised is to really look at the areas that I'm comfortable with, that I was afraid to make actions for many reasons, because I'm in the space of comfortability, and to be in a place where, as Jacob, Vayetze, okay, as Vayetze, to make action and to understand that the Creator is guiding each one of us and protecting each one of us. And as long as I'm strengthening my connection with the Creator, all will be good. This is the promise that we're receiving from the light this week with ד.נ.י. So what will be your commitment for yourself this week? What is enough is never enough for you. I would love to hear back from you and to see how was your week. What kind of miraculous reality that has been created for you. My email address is rachel.madar@kabbalah.com, and we'll see you in our next session. Thank you for joining me today.